everybody. We are going to show you another area we found called Blue Water Beach Camping, just a little ways down from Lake Erie State Park, and we're going to drive through there. I will also call them and get some information on like that area right there where the Blue Water Beach Camping area might be both long-term and short-term stays, and it's seasonal, but it's real close to the lake. I mean, there's like a place where you can walk down to the lake from there, and it's on Route 5. This is the Seaway Trail Parkway, they call it here. It looks like we're also close to a KOA journey up ahead, but I'll try to show you some information at the end of the video. Beautiful little ride. We'll also show you videos of the ride up and down through Dunkirk and some of the other little towns. Really kind of cool, so stay tuned.
So someday when my ship comes in, I know just what we'll do. We'll pack our bags and quit our jobs and have a holiday for two. We'll pack our bags and quit our jobs and have a holiday for two.
There it is. The Blue Water Beach Campground. We pamper the camper.
Nice.
Resident camping only. Speed limit 5 miles per hour. Okay. Now, our first impressions of Blue Water Campground or Blue Water Beach Campground was it's just beautiful. There's lots of shaded areas to camp in. Right away, though, I did kind of start picking up that this is a more seasonal campground, not necessarily one where you can come stay for a night or two or a week. This is a seasonal campground. I'll get into more information about that at the end, so stay tuned. But it is a very beautiful place, and watch.
This is very pretty.
I'll see if I can get some information, I guess, right there. How's that?
Yep, sounds good. That must be the camp host in the mobile home.
I have no idea. This looks like homes. Blue Water Beach. So it must be a beach straight behind us.
Mm-hmm.
This looks like where you go to the campground, so we'll drive through and see.
Yeah, they look like long-term residents.
And then here's the campground area with hookups.
This is beautiful.
Call them sometime, get information.
Yeah.
It's possible I may have missed a few spots, not knowing exactly, because I see some trails that go off to the sides.
Mm-hmm.
The lake's just right over there, not too far away. It's a mixture of short-term and long-term, I think.
I think you're right.
They got the dump station. Deliveries. Oh, okay.
Woody.
Woody. Just stopped at a KOA. I don't usually stay at KOAs, but this one is absolutely gorgeous. And I'll put pricing and everything and information on this for you. But this is called Journey KOA. And we're just again down on Route 5, which is the Seaway Trail. Just down from the Blue Water Beach Campground as well as Lake Erie State Park Campground. So we're kind of hitting the several campgrounds to try and get some ideas of what kind of campgrounds they have here, and in the future if we come back, which we plan to do in a year or two, and make use of some of these campgrounds here. This is just a beautiful one. As you can see behind me, they got lots of shade spots. There's hookups here, some with full hookup, some with partial hookup, and tables, lots of shade, a shower area there in the middle, and lots of room. Even got room for big Class A's as well as the toy haulers or the fifth wheels over there. Their trailers, fire pits, looks like. So nice. The tent spots are on the outer edge. There's some more. Plus they have a little dog park area, a little pet playground right there that we just took Patch to. The only thing I can think of that might be a little bit of a nuisance, I guess, might be the highway here behind me. This looks like the 90, and if you're in a little farther, if you're tucked in a little farther, the noise might not be a problem, but you know, we're kind of used to that in some places. So I'll put information on this particular campground and prices on that. I'll put it on here on the video, either on the end or down in the description below, so watch for those. This one is the KOA Journey, and right off Route 5 here. I'll go in and get a book.
Sounds good.
Let's see if they'll let us drive around through here.
Yeah, save 10%.
I'll have to find out. There's some brochure. We've got a guest pass.
Nice.
Oh, they gave us a guest pass.
How long is the guest pass good for?
Just for the truck through. Now the ones in the middle are more for motorhomes and stuff.
Okay.
So this is probably the dump station right here, it looks like. And then might have a water place where you can get water, propane.
They even have pizzas that they will deliver to your campsite.
Oh wow.
For $19.99.
Now the outer loop is the tenter spot. There's 69 to my right, and I can't see a number over here. Oh, 60 on my left, 71 on my right.
There's cabins.
So 71. We're in the green. We're on that green little spot we just came in.
Gotcha.
There's more spots, more campsites over there in that next section, like where you see that motorhome up there and the big long trailer. And this is probably a shower room here.
And they've got 3 cabins, it looks like.
Yeah.
That's nice. And they have a pool. They have 2 pools.
So we're at the top section up there where the 771. There's a little dog park area. Look at that, Patchy.
There's a camping kitchen, cable TV sites.
There's a little dog park.
Nice. Do we want to let him out?
Unless you want to.
He might want to.
I can pull in one of these spots here. In the shade. I'll pull in right here.
Let's let him run for a few minutes. Be nice for him.
So we got out and let Patch run around a little bit in the dog park area, the little dog playground area. He really enjoyed that. There are lots of ways to get discounts at KOA campgrounds, and I'll get into some of that at the end of the video and show you how to do that. Watch at the end of the video for more information on both the Blue Water Campground, the Blue Water Beach Campground, as well as the KOA campground here. And I'm not really, normally we haven't been staying at places like the KOAs, But I do know that if you become a member and stuff, you can get discounts as well as having like AAA and senior citizen discounts and things like that. So do keep that in mind. One of the things we liked about this campground was the beautiful shaded spots, showers, the pool. It is kind of close to the road, so that is something to keep in mind. But there are so many things in the area to see. And so if we do come back here and decide to spend a little time, this would definitely be a place we'd keep in mind. But I do want to try and get some of those KOA discounts. But we were on the road because we had to get on to Ashland, Ohio for our next stop at the hotel. And then the next day, oh boy, you got to stay tuned because there's some really cool campgrounds we saw in Illinois. As always, safe travels wherever you're going this time of year. Get out and enjoy it. It's a beautiful country, but be safe. We didn't have any accidents, but we had a few close calls. If you like this video, please hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell. And stay tuned here at the end because I'm going to show you some information on both of those campgrounds. Have a great day. Catch you later. Bye. Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Dave here, and I'm going to show you how to find these campgrounds and how to locate them and tell you a little bit about them and also give you some of my impressions of each one and some information. So let's start first with our first one that we went to, Blue Water Beach Campground right there. Now looking at some of the reviews down here, family atmosphere with many folks who are permanent campers every year. Yes, I agree with that. Beautiful place, super friendly staff. I agree. I recommend coming here if you need a getaway place. And it is family owned, so keep that in mind. It is seasonal, so this is not a place that you want to stay and come and try to plan on staying like for a weekend or for a couple of days. Let me go to the website here and see what I can show you. All right, first let's go to about them. This couple, it tells you a little bit about on their website. I'll be sure to include a link for this website so you can check on it more yourself. But they have a lot of cool things, private beach, rec hall, playground, all kinds of stuff. They even have a honey dip service where they come and clean out your holding tank. And looking at the picture, it looks like you can drive your golf carts down on the beach. I think that's pretty cool. But it is kind of about, this place was started by a couple. Let's do the history here. This is kind of neat. I did this. This couple here bought this property years ago and have kind of fixed it up over the years. And started with like 9 campgrounds or 12 seasonal campers, and they've built it up from there. They have right now over 100 campsites, and but it is seasonal. So let's kind of show you the rates. Now, bear in mind, this really is not too bad. The seasonal rate, they have a senior citizen rate paid in full. You have to pay it in full by May 9th. You also need to put a down payment so that you can have that site booked. And I would say if you are interested in this, give them a call. Tell them what size rig you have. This is a place where you might want to, if you want to come to some place like this, you plan on staying for 5 months. That's May, June, July, August, and September. The end of their season is really around the first part of October. And the reason is it starts getting cold there. Most people there they clear out of there in October. They start winterizing their rigs and get the heck out of there. Because it starts getting cold, and it's not unusual to have 5 feet of snow in this area. Lake effect snow, and it's cold, so it's not a place to go RVing in the wintertime. So probably, my guess is most of those people that were there, that you saw in the pictures, were there, and then they take off for the winter and go to maybe Arizona, right? But I'm just kidding there. But who knows? There are probably some of them that come to southern Arizona or come to the desert regions and do some RVing down here, because we definitely have the nice weather for the winter. So here are some of their payment plans. Now, when you break it down and look at it, that works out for 5 months. That works out to about $500 a month. And there is a senior discount there, so I would check into that. But $500, $400 a month for a guaranteed campsite, a place that you can pull in your trailer and live there for 5 months, that ain't too bad. Now, there are some other things, there's lots of rules and regulations, and some of those regulations and rules aren't really too bad. If you look at some of the camp rules, it'll go through the speed limit like that, quiet time like that, No loud radios or boisterous activity after 10 p.m. like that. And of course, some other things you might want to read that to kind of make things look nice. They don't want people leaving old stuff laying out and things like that. No fish guts laid out if you go fishing down. And they do have trout in this lake. And if you have a boat, there are ways to put your boat in the water. Some marinas up and down. Dogs have to be on a leash and so on. But I'll put links here. Golf carts? That I didn't know it's a golf course in the area, but that's kind of interesting. So I did notice that in the picture there were golf carts. So take a look at their rates and the map of their campground. The area that we drove around in was over in here. I didn't even realize they had all these other spots back here. And there is a trail that goes down. I want to say the trail goes down to the lake from this area right here. Goes down into the lake. So that's kind of interesting. And look at all those spots back there. 128, 135, 134. So they do have plenty of spots. So something to think about if you want a place to go and spend several months there. I would call them, and there's their phone number right there if you're interested. Let's go to the next one on there, which was the KOA. Let's zip over to KOA. Now, like I said, there's lots of things to do in the area. There's towns here, Westfield. If you need groceries, you're not far. There's actually a casino down the road here, or maybe it's back up the road here. There's a what they call the Seneca tribe has a casino up this way. There's other campgrounds that we didn't even get to, like DJs. And another one I saw down the Brookside Beach. Looks like there's a campground down there. So there are other campgrounds in this area, as well as places to put a boat in the water. I know Sturgeon Point was up their way, and I think Dunkirk up the road here has a place where you can put your boat in the water at Dunkirk. They may even have a place to put your boat in the water here in Barcelona. So definitely, if you have a boat and you want to come out here. So just something to consider. Let's take a look at the Westfield KOA. I did a preliminary run to see what pricing would be for us with a 26-foot motorhome, the 2 adults, and our little dog Patch. So these are some of the rates that I came up with for a couple nights in September. So this is a pull-through 50, 30, 20 amp, full hookup, water, sewer, everything for $80 a night. There's other spots for $75 a night, another spot for $70 a night. Probably the difference is what's available at that particular site. All right, pets allowed. They have a pool. And like I said, the only thing about this place that, other than maybe the rates might be a little bit high, and I'll get to that in just a second, would be the noise from the freeway, the 90. And there's a lot of noise there. So let's talk about discounts. I've done a little investigating, and if you sign up and go on to the KOA website, you can get what's called like a KOA pass. And if you go to KOA, you can get the reward pass. And I think it's like, I want to say $40 for the year. And it gets you a 10% discount off your camp fee. And I'm going to do some more investigating into this because it sounds like if you use this a certain number of days per year, then your discount goes up to 25%. And there are lots of KOAs in Arizona. And there are lots of KOAs all over the United States. You can just click on Find a Campground, type in the city. And I know if you type in Flagstaff, there are lots of, we type in Flagstaff, AZ. And I know there's lots of camping in around Flagstaff. See, there's Arizona, and there are all the KOAs that are in Arizona. And there's KOAs all throughout the way back east. So something I'm going to look into is getting that pass, get that 10% discount. And if we use it enough times, I think it's 20,000 points. But each time you stay at a campsite in a KOA, you get 1,000 points. So sounds to me like if you stay at 20 nights at a KOA, your discount goes from 10% to 25%. So I'm going to do some more investigating and find that out and get back with you on that. But there are ways to save some money there on that for your KOA stays. And they're nice. I mean, they're kind of packed in, but some people don't mind that. Obviously, there were a lot of people staying there. So I hope you found this helpful. Like I said, we're going to be moving on down the road to Ashland, Ohio for our stay at our hotel. And oh boy, wait till I tell you about Peru, Illinois. Oh boy, I'll show you that on my... Watch for that video because we ran into a heck of a storm, and we stayed there in Peru, but we also got to see a really, really neat, very beautiful campground called Starved Rock. So that'll be our next video. Have a great day, everybody. Catch you later.